Hey everybody, Sheila Magalhaes here from Heartsong Yoga Center in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. I'm coming to you from what we call the Great Room at our studio, and I will be offering a short, led and guided centering, settling, quieting the mind, focusing on the breath, turning attention inward, a little bit of meditation and mindfulness, and some gentle stretching and movement coming from what we call the Kripalu tradition of yoga, which is said to be the yoga of compassion, kindness, and self-observation without judgment. So to do these practices, you can sit in a chair, or you can, as I will, sit on a cushion, and as best you can, give yourself this time to just unplug from the demands of the day, the uncertainty of what is going to happen next in the world, in our lives, and to cultivate a sense of awareness of how we're feeling. And with understanding how we feel, we can make the appropriate shifts and changes that can help to support you through days of uncertainty, and also in every day, because even the most awesome, wonderful things that you might be planning also have a little bit of stress and anxiety that bubbles up and simmers even as you just move through the day. So this is the chance to quiet all of that down through these practices called yoga. All right. So I will take my comfortable seat, cross-legged if you can, or feel free to stretch your legs out any way that feels right for you, or maybe you have chosen to do this in a chair. Draw your hands together at the heart. Let your head tip slightly down in a way that helps you to take your attention to the heart center, to the heart space. This place where you can access loving kindness, where you can consider compassion for yourself and for one another, and where you can extend a prayer of peace, of goodwill, a message for those you love and care for vitality and strength and courage, for radiant health and well-being, and for all beings everywhere. Take a big breath in, and when you exhale, let your hands fall down somewhere on your lap or your knees. Sometimes when I feel like I could use more grounding and settling, the palms face down on the knees, and it's like there's this little bit of pressure where it feels like I'm connected to the earth. And at the same time, the crown of the head presses up towards the sky as though there were a thread connected. Your shoulders roll back and the heart lifts and rises. And this is a ready position for a practice of meditation. And really what comes before meditation is the ability to concentrate on one thing. And we usually pick something as an anchor for concentration. And one of the things that is with you at all times is the breath. The feel of the breath, the quality of the breath, the sound of the breath. So if you do this one thing and it feels comfortable for you, shift your breathing so that it's in and out through the nose in a way that feels very smooth and easy. It doesn't have to be a particular rhythm. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes and just listen to my instructions, or you can have your gaze past the tip of the nose. And as you shift the breath so that it is in and out through the nose, you might notice a quality that feels a little whispery or a bit like a sigh. And now and again, you'll just catch yourself needing to let out a sigh, to let out a yawn or a sound. That's all welcome here. Sometimes to start sitting in this way, it's hard to just run in, take your seat, and then just put on the brakes. So before we move a little bit more into this quiet time, we'll do a few gentle stretches. And then we'll have a bit of quiet, and I'll lead you and guide you through it. And then we'll continue with some more gentle stretching. So please bring your shoulders up by your ears and roll them back and slide them down, like you're letting something heavy fall off of your shoulders. And do that again. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, squeeze them back, and slide them down. And do that one more time. Lift the shoulders up, big squeeze, roll them back, and slide them down. Reach your arms out to a T position and wriggle your fingers. Roll the wrists around. Let your elbows be involved a little bit, like you're unfurling some beautiful wings and you just have this amazing wingspan that you're exploring around and around. Notice if you grit your teeth or scrunch up your face or if you stop breathing. Those are indicators that you're not paying attention, right? Or, you've gone on to autopilot, or that you're pushing in some way. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders and roll the elbows in a circling motion. And this little sequence is a really awesome way for you to move into the tension and tightness that live in our upper back and shoulders for so many of us. And then go in the opposite direction. We have so many descriptors of this kind of feeling, like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, or this thing is such a pain in the neck. There's this felt sense between all of us, commonly out in humanity, out in the world, that the heaviness lands on the shoulders and upper back. Now let your hands come back down to your knees or your lap, wherever you put them. And if you'd like to experiment with a different kind of a sense with your hands, to turn the palms up instead of down, and just notice what that feels like. And again, if your eyes are closed, keep them soft closed. If you look past your nose, do that. Try not to let anything in the room or the space that you're in distract you. It's so easy to get distracted, so that's why we try to quiet down the sense organs. Sometimes people meditate by gazing to one spot, or maybe a candle lit in front of you. The palms are up, the fingertips are soft. And once again, return to the quality, the feeling, the sense of your breath. In and out through the nose, so that it sounds a little bit soft and whispery. You don't have to do anything again to manipulate it or change it, but instead, can you be so sensitive that you can feel the coolness and the soft quality of the breath on the inhale, right in the edges of the nostrils, and then the warmth of the breath when you exhale. Put a little Buddha smile on your face, a little bit of a Buddha smile, a little Mona Lisa smile. And every once in a while, again, you might sigh or yawn or readjust the shoulders so they feel like your spine is straight up and down and the shoulders are soft and the heart is open. And now see if you can get a little more breath on the inhale, and when you exhale, let the exhale be just a bit longer. And you might notice a natural pause at the top of the breath or the bottom of the breath, and that is very, very common and very comfortable. And some people like that space, that very still and quiet space, but don't force your way into it, either at the top or the bottom of the exhale. Just let it be what it is. And then as you establish that smooth and easy breath with perhaps a little bit of a longer exhalation, just take this time to concentrate fully on the breath and to use it as your anchor as we sit for just 2 more minutes together quietly. I'll give you little prompts along the way, so feel the earth beneath you. Fine-tuning your senses, feeling the breath, listening to the sound. Maybe noticing the temperature in the room, and all of these things helping to keep you centered, rooted, and grounded in this moment. If suddenly your mind starts wandering out to other parts of this day, tomorrow, and next week, and oh my God, what's it going to be like in a month or two, and then you notice that you've gone really far away, bring yourself back by using the breath. And then when you exhale and you settle back into the present moment, there's a sense of gratitude that, oh, you've arrived again. And guess what? If your mind keeps going off into the future or into the past, that's just the way the mind is. It's built to do that. You can't ask your mind to stop thinking the same way you cannot ask your heart to stop beating. The yogis consider it just one more organ, and one more task of that mind is just to think. However, you might notice that there could be moments of quiet. And if there are no moments that feel quiet, it's still a practice that will support you and help you, and that you can return to again and again. And in the returning, you draw yourself back to the present moment where you perhaps can access a moment of peace and ease, even in the midst of the busyness and the craziness of our 21st century lives. That's a little more than 2 minutes, so take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, let out a sigh, and take your hands together and rub them briskly. See if you can bring up some heat, some warmth, kind of this sense of what we call tapas, or building a bit of a fire. And then take those hands and reach the palms up and reach your arms all the way up. Stretch up, 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 whether out of your seat, in a chair, out of the cushion, pull the belly in, turn the palms out. Exhale, and slowly the fingertips touch the earth and turn hands up. Inhale, big breathing, and turn the gaze skyward for a moment. And exhale, a sigh, hands out, over, down, touch. Inhale, rise up, breathe in through the nose, look up, look up, look up. Your exhale through the mouth like a sigh, falling out breath. Touch the earth. Sun breaths. Inhale, reach up, even in the gloomiest of days. You can invite in the sun. And exhale as you go. Even on the cloudiest of days, you know the sun will eventually shine again. One more time, big breathing. Reach, 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 reach. Look up, look up, look up. Exhale, hands come down, fingertips touch the ground. Lean to the right hand and over. Come up across to the left hand and over. Good. Come back to the center. I'm honestly not sure if rights and lefts show up correctly for you, so I hope I don't confuse you. Take one hand over to a knee and the other behind your back. Twist. Come across and over. Take the opposite hand to the knee and look over your shoulder in a twist. Come back to the center, and I'm not sure about you, but my knees are starting to feel a little bit tired, so I'm going to slide the legs out in front, unwind the knees, come off of the cushion, right? And take your hands to your knees and rub the knees with a bit of a squeeze, with some TLC to the health and strength and support of the knees. And if you're in a chair, you can do the same thing. Right? Lean forward a bit and slide your hands down your shins. Keep your toes pointing up. Keep the squeeze in the quads and your shoulders back. It's a forward fold called Paschimottanasana. That's a Sanskrit word, which is the language of yoga that means intense west stretch. Inhale, come all the way up, hands towards those knees. Exhale there. Bring your knees in. Bring your hands behind you. Drop your knees across to one side. I think that's your right, but I'm not sure. And bring the knees up and across to the other. And then come back up to the center. Put the soles of your feet together. Now here, sitting on a cushion or on the ground, it's easier to come into this bound angle pose. We're going to rock the knees up and down a little bit. One knee might feel higher than the other. One hip might feel tighter or looser than the other. If you're in a chair, you could take one foot up to the top of your thigh like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair, and you can rock that hip from side to side by holding on. Or you can gently press lightly. Right? And you can do that also from the seated position, from the cushion. Press lightly. And stretch the leg out or put your foot down on the ground and pick up the other. And rock a little bit from side to side. Side to side. Maybe a little rocking motion, bringing some attention to the joint of the hip, and then put your ankle over the top thigh and rock it up and down, up and down. Right? Easy, easy breathing, in and out through the nose. Where's your mind? Notice if you go to autopilot, put a little press just gently into the top of the leg, to the thigh and knee. Gentle with your knees. Good, and then bring that leg up and both feet out or down to the ground. Bring your knees once again in towards your chest and give yourself a squeeze. Rock a little bit from side to side. You can put your nose down towards your knees. And then bring yourself back to the center. If you're in a chair, stand up. You can use the chair for stability. From the ground, same thing too. Come on up. Take your time. Take your time. Walk your hands up the legs. When you get to standing, shake out your hands and shake out your feet and do what we call the Heartsong Yoga dance, right? What happens at Heartsong stays at Heartsong. Thank you, Cat Rasset, for that. Put your hands at your waist and circle the hips around. I'm thinking about my awesome teachers who I miss and love and channel you all the time. Circle around, circle around. You're just making these great big crazy hula hoop movements. All right, we're talking sweet and easy stretches for every body. Come around and around and around. And then go in the opposite direction. Right? And as you do, really let your feet be loose and light on the ground, your hips soft and just in this beautiful circling motion. So we're bringing in, once again, range of motion, synovial fluid. We're bringing in this sense of ease. As some of my students have heard me say, one of my teachers has said that the hips are the fountain of youth. Bring your feet now, so what I call hip width apart. So when you look down to your feet, they're parallel. Ankles underneath knees, underneath the crest of your hip bone, not the edges. And when you have your feet parallel, start to rock from the ball of the foot to the heel. And if you need to adjust for your stance and your stability, do that for yourself. Up and down, back and forth, back and forth. Come back to the center and draw your hands to the heart center, to that Anjali Mudra. Squeeze your quads, like give them a big squeeze your belly in. And as you allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears, press up through the crown. Root down through the soles of your feet like you're sinking into the earth beneath your building. Lace your fingers to steeple and slide your thumbs up past your nose and past your brow, finding mountain pose. Holding this mountain pose, finding all of the strength and stability here. Open the arms to a wide V. Tip the head back as though you're looking up towards the sky and you're saying yes, open and receptive, ready to receive. As you open the arms out to the side, you trace a great big circle all the way down and then bend your knees, put your hands by your knees, drop your head, hang your head, and shake it out. Shake out your head. Shake out old stories. Just letting go. Put your hands back by your knees and walk your hands up the fronts of your legs as you come up. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, back into that mountain pose and slip over to the right. It's half moon. And come back across and over to the left for half moon. Inhale, back up to the center as you open the arms. Take your feet wide. Bring your hands behind your back. Turn your toes in and squeeze the shoulders back. That's a big inhale. Exhale, come forward. Come as far down as you like. Come all the way down if you want. Hang your head. Standing Yoga Mudra. Inhale, come all the way up. Big, big squeeze. Exhaling as you reach your arms to T. Toes turn out, palms face up. Lift up, look up in 5-pointed star. Come back to that even, steady breath in and out through the nose. And as you look forward, the arms float out to the side. They come down, down, down. And as you exhale, soften, let a layer of tension fall away. Bring your feet in so that you are once again in the ready position for mountain pose. Rooted, grounded, settled. Letting yourself know that you have the strength, the courage, and stability. You have the resources. You have the support. Earth beneath you, heavens above. Let the hands fall away. Soften in your knees. Slide your hands down. We're getting back to the ground, back to our original place of meditation, centering and settling. Let your hands rest by your lap, knees. Perhaps you'd like to try turning those palms to face up once again. I'll join you. We'll close our eyes and sit for a moment. The practice of yoga is a traditional 8-limbed path, and it guides you towards being able to sit longer in longer and longer periods of meditation. You stretch out the body, you quiet the mind, you get the kinks out, you get loose, light, open, and receptive. Place one hand over your heart center, the other hand on top of it. Once again, drop your gaze, look towards your heart. Feel the steady thrum of the heart and the Dalai Lama's instructions to every day when you awaken. Appreciate this precious human life. And the palms together in the Anjali Mudra. Sending out a prayer of peace in the spirit of what's known as metta meditation from the Buddhist tradition to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from suffering. Namaste. If you'd like to sit a little bit longer, take the time. If you'd like to lie down and take some rest, take some rest. If you're moving out to the next part of your day, see if you can bring the meditation into all of the aspects of your day to pay attention on purpose. Whether you're chopping your vegetables, whether you're doing your work at your desk, whether you're helping with your kids or your family members, making beds or doing laundry. Everything in this life can be precious. Every moment is a gift. Thank you for joining me. I'll find my way back to the computer and see if I can close this out properly.